Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Chris with HomesIn719.com, and I would like to welcome you to one of my open houses here. This is 5707 Uncompadre, but this video is actually all about the February 2020 HOA meeting takeaways. And I have some notes here. I'm going to go through them. I'll flip over the screen, show you some stuff on the computer, and hopefully you learn a few things to keep you out of trouble with HOA. So this past February's meeting, just a few days ago, one of the things the HOA pointed out was that several people, our homeowners, are still paying the 2019 due amounts. So if you didn't know, 2020, the dues increased. So go on to the website, which I'll show you briefly where to go. Make sure you update your auto pays if you use them, so that way you're paying the proper amount and don't get a fine for not paying, for underpaying your dues. The next thing was they're working on a new collection policy. Now, I say that word, that doesn't mean collection of the annual dues. That means in the event that you don't pay, how they're going to go about addressing collecting the money. And they're doing that for lots of reasons. They went through them. I'm not going to pretend to go through the whole thing here. It would be 35 minutes of trying to explain it, and I know I'd get it wrong. So I just look forward to some stuff coming out of the HOA with regards to how they're going to do that. I don't know if they're just going to have a small announcement or if they're actually going to try to explain the process, but there were a few homeowners in the room when they went through it, and all of us kind of agreed that's kind of a cool way they're doing it. They're actually tweaking it so it's in favor of the homeowner and trying to reduce the cost of legal fees, which thereby reduces the amount we have to pay for dues eventually. So all that stuff wrapped together, I thought it was a pretty cool idea that they were trying to do and basically reduce costs for the HOA. That's good. That's a good thing. Parking. Some people were there to discuss parking permits. Once again, you cannot park on the street in our neighborhood, and really in Colorado Springs, it's really a city ordinance as well, but without a permit here in Ridgeview. So if you want a permit, you got to fill out the form. I highly encourage you to fill out the whole form, because every little space is what I'm talking about, because there's certain things on there that are very, very critical that they need to know. And if you don't give them that information, they're going to send it right back to you, and you're not going to have your permit for another month-ish until they can review it. So make sure you fill out that form completely. Go on the website. I'll show you where it's at in just a minute, and get that turned in. If you had a 2019 permit, that is expired. You need a new one for 2020, so make sure you check that out. Let's see. The next thing. So we got right now about a rather significant amount of delinquent dues. Let's just say that based on my notes. They're trying to work through those. Some of those are in a collections policy with attorneys trying to get that money. Some people won't pay it until they sell their house. Some people won't pay them at all until their house sells, and then they'll be forced to sell it. So just so you know, if you don't pay your dues, that will become an HOA lien that will be on your title, and you will pay it before you can sell your house. So I encourage you to just pay it. It's a much bigger number later, because then they get all the attorney fees and everything else on top of it. So if you can afford to pay it, I would recommend you pay it on time. Let's see here. I'm scanning through my notes. You know, if you have a neighbor that is you have something in question that they're going about doing, if they're doing a renovation, or they're parking something in the backyard or storing something in the backyard, you can turn that information into the HOA. Call E. Hammersmith, and they will look into it. Your name does not get reported to the homeowner, but if you can, I highly encourage you to go over, knock on the old door, have a conversation if you can first. If you're comfortable with doing that, so you can have first get to know your neighbor. Second, see if you can resolve it between the two of you, because that will make it a lot better between all the neighbors, I'm sure. Let's see here. Got some longer notes. I'm going to pause this just for a second so I can read it, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, cool. Sorry about that. I wanted to read the notes so I understood what I had in my mind here. You know, if in addition to what I just mentioned, if you are wondering whether or not your neighbor's doing something and it's been approved, you can call the HOA. They'll tell you, yep, that's been approved, or it hasn't been approved. And they can tell you that. They won't get into details about financial stuff. It's just more of I was wondering about one of my neighbors who's doing some stuff, and I called them and said, "Hey, is this permitted and or approved?" And they're like, "Yep, it's architecturally approved. Don't worry about it." Cool. Along those lines, though, architectural permits do have a timeline, so you do have to complete them based on the date that's in there. So on your application, so make sure you're paying attention to that and your project doesn't draw out. Along those lines, architectural control here, I've mentioned this a bunch of times in other videos, in Ridgeview is highly restricted, and you do need to apply for any exterior modifications to your home, and that is on the front, the back, or the sides of your house. It doesn't matter where it is, on the ground, on the side of your house, the color, the shingles, all that has to be approved if you want to do anything different than what is currently there. So make sure you get that approved in advance so they don't make you take it back out. And I promise you, if it's really egregious, they will make you take it back out. I know this from being in attendance at some of the meetings where they've told people you need to remove that. So don't get down the road, don't spend the money, do all the work, and then be told you got to take it back out. That wouldn't be good, right? One of the other notes I had here is some of you guys know I'm a rehabber, so I fix and flip houses. If you need paint for your house, inside or outside, you really should call me. I get 20 to 50% off it on paint. So I get 20% off at Home Depot and I get 50% off at Sherwin-Williams, which makes them just about the same amount of money. But I also have contacts with Sherwin-Williams for the corporate rep that drives around, will advise you as to what kind of paint to use, not just what color. But so he's an awesome dude. His name's Adam. Used to work at the Tut Sherwin-Williams store, and he'll come out and help you understand exactly what to do. And if you're going to paint yourself, what kind of brushes to use, because the brush does matter. And then let's see, with that, a lot of people got fined this recently for garbage cans in sight when it's not garbage day. So when it's garbage day, you can put your garbage cans out by the street, but when it's not garbage day, they cannot be visible from the street. So me being one of those people that has a really small garage, I had to, put mine behind my fence. That's legal. You cannot put them in front of your fence. You cannot store them in front of your garage door. You can store them in your garage, which kind of stinks, but you cannot have them visible. So make sure that you put them away so you don't get a fine for that. Last but not least, spring's coming up. So if you're concerned about weeds and how you're going to make your grass green, you want to make that improved, check out my YouTube channel at homesin719.com, and there is a video on there for, I think it's entitled a little cleverly that no more fines for weeds or something like that. And check that out because that'll teach you a little bit about how I do my lawn. It's really simple, but you do got to keep up on it all the time, like every time you cut the grass. So take a look, give me some comments in the video. If you haven't, shoot me some questions. I'll try to get you some answers. I was going to switch over and show you the other, the screen here real quick. Let me do that for you. 1 second. Okay, bummer. Because I didn't have my system set up to do both the screen and the webcam at the same time, it won't let me switch. So the way you get to the Stetson Hills Master HOA website is really simple. Google Stetson Hills Master HOA. And when I do it, it's the top search result. You click on that and you get all the information you can need. If you're a tenant, you might need to get to your homeowner and see if you can get a login information for that. Or just call eHammersmith and see if they'll give you a tenant login. I don't know if they'll do that because some of the documents are buried behind a password. So as far as like parking permits and architectural forms and all that fun stuff I mentioned, it's all in the document section on their website. So, if you Google that and you click on it, you should get to the portal pretty quickly, and but there's a phone number there if you have any problems. So hopefully this keeps you out of trouble a little bit. And if you know anybody looking to buy or sell real estate anywhere in Colorado Springs, I would hope you would think of me and just refer me to see if I can have a conversation with them. My number is 719-332-3628. Again, 719-332-3628. Thanks, and have a great day. Bye.